Up next, an exclusive focus group of swing state voters on what ultimately informed their pick for president. I'm pleased to be joined once more by Elizabeth Jarosz, market research expert with Ipsos, who has conducted an exclusive post-election focus group of swing state voters for us. Elizabeth, good to see you again.
Great to be here.
Okay, tell us about the makeup of this final focus group that you did for us.
Okay, Essie, this was a doozy. Okay, prior to this, for all of the other shows I've been on with you, I have separated the Harris-leaning groups from the Trump-leaning groups.
Yeah.
But post-election, I decided to put them all together in the same group. So it was a nice mixed group. I had three that voted for Harris, three that voted for Trump, and one that voted for Chase Oliver.
And were all of these people undecided until the end, or how would you have categorized them before they voted?
Not all of them, but I did pepper in a few that were undecided right until the end. And I had spoken to them before, and so I invited them back to see what finally tipped the scale.
Excellent. Well, I can't wait to get to that. But before we do, let's hear what your group had to say about how they voted. Take a look.
In the end, when you went into that voting booth, what did it come down to?
Joy.
Well, for me, it was freedom. The Republicans have taken away freedoms. Book banning, that's freedom of what people can read. Obviously, women's bodies, they're taking away what choices women have with their bodies.
My reason for voting for Trump is I always vote my wallet, and I did better during his 4 years than I did during this last 4 years.
I don't like the agenda of the Democrats pushing girls out of sports. Boys are taking spots from girls. Like if my granddaughter gets might be able to get a scholarship from college and it's taken away by a boy that wants to be a girl.
How much of that influenced your vote, Kim?
Quite a bit, because I don't think that's right. And then the illegal issue is a big thing too. I mean, all of us lose benefits and the illegals get it. Why should Americans be we're American citizens, we were born here. Why should we lose all our rights for all the illegals that committed a crime by coming into this country illegally, while Americans get nothing?
Okay, Elizabeth, what stood out to you from these voters?
Oh my God, so much. First of all, when I was recruiting them, so prior to the election, I was recruiting a lot of undecided voters, as you know,
Yeah.
right? And they were like, yeah, I'll participate. And they, but they were a little apprehensive. When I reached out to these folks now, they all wanted to speak to me. The other thing that stood out was Ipsos had predicted that the economy and immigration would be like, two of the three top issues, right? And you can clearly see from the Trump voters that stood out. What was surprising, though, was the transgender. And that's now been kind of all over the media, that there was a big push on the Trump side talking about transgender, and you can see it really made a difference.
Well, and we're going to have to, it's so interesting that you said that about voters wanting to talk much more now. I think that might be a problem for polling and trying to get a sense before an election, especially a contentious one, of where voters are. So we'll all be looking forward to your next focus groups in the future. Elizabeth
Yeah,
Jarosz.
that's why interviews and qualitative are so important, right?
They really are. And just talking to actual voters is really, really important. Elizabeth Jarosz with Ipsos, thank you so much for all of the time and effort you've put into these focus groups for us. You really helped us bring such a unique perspective to coverage of this race. We're really grateful.
It was a pleasure. I love your show, so glad to be a part of it.
Thanks.